Hey, good evening or morning or afternoon, whenever it is that you're listening to this. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous, coming to you every day, the month of December, for just a few moments to inspire you, to let you know you're not alone, to give you thoughts and plans and tools to help you as you proceed through the first Christmas or second or fifth or 25th after divorce, if Christmas is a difficult, challenging time for you. I want to be here and I want to hopefully give you something to be joyful about and not let the Grinch of divorce steal the Christmas season from you. Couple of quick announcements that I wanted to share with you. Free webinar January 4th, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about designing your life in 2023, looking forward instead of looking backward. Oh, won't that be a relief and a joy to do? After that, we have January 10th. We're going to have start a group support, 10 weeks of supporting you to get you through the divorce. And then the next day, January 11th, we're going to work on designing your life after the webinar that really launches this January 11th, online only, designing your life after divorce. So we'll go about 10 weeks and we will look through every area of your life, see what needs to go, what needs to stay, and what it is that you want to do to create that beautiful life the other side of divorce. So, enough about that. Let's talk about our topic today, and that is expectations. Expectations can weigh heavy on us. The ones we have for ourselves, the ones that we have for others, and it really is a precursor to disappointment. If you have high expectations, you can be greatly disappointed. So I want to just deal with that topic. It's something that some people don't even think about, and yet it is so influential in our life, the expectations. And what are expectations? This is my definition. I'm not sure I didn't look it up. I just know, having dealt with it so much, I wanted to kind of put it together in just a earthy way. And that is some event that will happen how you want. Someone's going to do something how you want it to be done, or they're going to behave in a certain way that you want. Now, you'll notice the you wants in here. How you want, what you want, and the way that you want. All of those things. It's all about you. It's understandable, but that's where our disappointment lies. And how do we manage those expectations? Therefore, manage those disappointments? We lower those expectations. Let's talk about it. First of all, let's understand that expectations are assumptions. I'm assuming you're going to behave a certain way, you're going to do a certain thing, this event is going to happen a certain way. Those are my assumptions. Well, we know the old adage that we heard in high school, assumptions get us in lots of trouble because they're not always true. And therefore, we're going to get those disappointments. And what happens when we're in disappointments? Our relationships are affected. Our relationships with our children, with our family, with our friends, even with our ex-spouse. Those expectations are going to affect that relationship, which you have to have some type of relationship after a divorce if you have children or you own a business together. So it's going to affect our relationships. And that's not good. It's not going to affect it in a positive way because there's going to be disappointment, and then it can build to resentment, and then it can build to anger, then it can build to all kinds of issues in our relationships. So our expectations say, okay, life is going to be fair. Life's going to be fair. Everyone's going to agree with me. Everyone's going to like me. And everyone's going to understand me. Well, that's a fantasy world, isn't it? And yet we still hold those expectations sometimes of others that are unrealistic or just not possible. So what do we do with that? We've got to lower our expectations. And therefore, we're going to lower our disappointment, especially this year, especially during this season. because it's very natural for us to have expectations of how things are going to work, and they don't. And especially this year, let's just lower those expectations and not expect so much or too much. Let's let go, especially of the ones that are unrealistic, that can't happen because the other person is not capable. You've been wanting and wanting and wanting it to happen. You've been wanting that apology. You've been wanting justice because of your betrayal or because of your pain. It's simply not going to happen because the other people are just incapable of having it happen. So we're going to let go of those. We're going to let go of those. And what we are going to do instead is we're going to stay in the moment and be present. And we are going to look at what's around us in gratitude. And we're going to embrace what is, not what the future is, not what we expect the future to be, but we're going to be more present in the here and now. And we're going to embrace it. And we're going to love it. And we're going to love people. And we're going to appreciate Christmas, maybe for the first time ever, because we were so full and bent on those expectations. It happens to a lot of us. A lot of us don't even see the effects of expectations. We only walk around with this disappointment and this hurt and pain in here. Another thing with expectations, don't expect to figure it all out. Anyone else in here guilty of trying to analyze it, figure it all out? I am. Appreciate it for what it is. Look at it for what it is, the beauty of what it is, for the truth of what it is. And then maybe we can be open to appreciating the little things that are in Christmas. And maybe this year, that's all there are is little things. That's okay if we can handle it by lowering our expectations and appreciating what is. And lastly, I want to talk about expectations of self. Slow them down. Find self-compassion and acceptance this Christmas season, maybe for the first time ever. Maybe you have held such high standards and expectations for yourself that you have had a life or decades full of disappointment because you refuse to accept where you are. I'm not talking about going after excellence. Of course, we want to go after excellence. But I'm talking about true acceptance of where you are this moment. The 10 pounds over, the inability to keep a neat space because you're a creative, and creatives and neat spaces don't go together all so well. Accept who you are. Accept your gifts that God gave you. Accept the reality of where you are. And then you can begin to manage it. But first, you've got to start with acceptance and compassion. In fact, acceptance is so important. It's a whole part of my support group, because until we learn to accept where we are and deal with where we are, we cannot begin to move forward, because we'll always have this baggage on our back that we're carrying. We have to accept it. Frees us. So acceptance and compassion, make it your gift to yourself this Christmas. You know what? I've been really hard on myself. You might need to talk yourself through it. I've expected so much. I've expected so much from others. I've expected so much from myself, and I've gained nothing but disappointment. Sure, there are those wonderful people that come through, but those few that don't really tear me down and hurt my heart. So make this season a season where you lower your expectations, you embrace what is, you stay in the moment, you embrace the moment, you experience Christmas, maybe for the first time ever. And if you have experienced it so richly in the past, I hope that God meets you in a very special way, that you experience it deeper still. Have a wonderful December 5th. as you enter and continue through the Christmas season. This is Kathy Beatty, walking with you every step of the way through the trauma of divorce.